Masechet Succah Daf 55. We were just by saying, Rabbi Yochanan comes and he says, okay? So he says over here, we're going to place the evarim, the limbs of Musaf Rosh Chodesh, above all the other evarims to show that it's chashuvim. Also, we wanted to show you that Rosh Chodesh was instituted in the proper time. So answers the Gemara, you're right. We did two different recognitions, two different things to recognize, to realize what's happening. The chazi hai chazi, the chazi behai chazi, which means that the one that's looking, which is whether it's putting the evarim of the Musaf and Rosh Chodesh above, he already knows that Rosh Chodesh was placed in the proper time, even if he doesn't see the other heker. The same halacha would apply to the next one, which means if you're going to see the heker that you're first putting the shir shel Rosh Chodesh right before heker, recognition, realizing, right, a sign. If you're going to realize that the first going to do the heker of Rosh Chodesh before the shir shel Shabbat, so therefore he's going to know that Rosh Chodesh was done bizmano, even if he doesn't see the second heker. So there's two different hekerim. There's two different recognizings of what's going on. Okay, two different ones, and each one is coming to teach you, right, that Rosh Chodesh was hukar bizmano, and therefore that's what we're paying attention to. Okay, so we're on Nun He Amud Aleph again. Meteve, right? Ask the Gemara. Okay, Meitve, we're asking the question. Tani Rabbi Shmuel taught Rabbi Shmuel Yachol Keshem Shetokin on Shabbat Bifnei Atzmo, just like I would have thought that you're going to start being tokea b'chasotserot on Musaf of Shabbat by itself, without the Musaf of Rosh Chodesh, ve'ar Rosh Chodesh Bifnei Atzmo, and you also do it on Rosh Chodesh on itself without the Shabbat. Kach you tokin al kol Musaf. So therefore, when it comes out Shabbat and Rosh Chodesh, you would also be tokea each one on its own. Yeah? So he comes and he says, Tamul Omar comes to teach you, Uvrashe Chodshechem, right? Uvyom Simchatchem Umoadechem, Uvrashe Chodshechem. What does that teach us? She'af kesheyesh musafim, that even if you're going to have musafim, yeah, he says over here, even if you're going to have musafim, it says, kesheyesh kam musafim, en tokin seder echad, you only do one seder. Okay? Tiyuvta derechachat tiyuvta. So this is the question. Yes? Rebiacha. Okay, so this is going to be a very good tiyuvta against him. So says the Gemara, my Talmuda, what is the limud? How do we know that we don't tokea on every musaf on its own? Meaning we're only going to be, we're doing a 2 for 1. We're only going to be tokea on one musaf. We're not going to do on two different musafim, but it's musaf of Shabbat and musaf of Rosh Chodesh. So he says, Uvrashe chodshechem ukshu kol chodashim kulam zelazeh. There's a hekesh. Hekesh is the juxtaposition, proximity, when you have two things which are brought close together. So therefore, we're making a hekesh between all the Rosh Chodeshim together with this, that in every single Rosh Chodesh, whether it comes out during the weekday, or whether it's going to come out when? On Shabbat, Tokim Oto Mispar, we do the exact same amount, and the same halacha would apply to any other type of musaf, whether it's going to be Yom Tov that comes out on Shabbat. We're only going to do one number, hekesh. Right, since it says Yom Dechem Rosh Chodshechem Ekesh, all of them are brought together. So you always do the same amount on the Musaf. Okay? Another explanation. Ravashi comes and he says, Ketiv Chodshechem, Uchtiv Uvrashe. Did you realize Chodshechem is written without a yod? Meaning it says Chodshechem without the yod in the middle. What? It's lacking. Singular, right? It's lacking the yod. Okay? So therefore, which is singular, Uchtiv, and it's written Uvrashe, which is plural, right? Because there is a yod. Uvrashe doesn't say Rosh Chodesh; it says Uvrashe. So therefore, which Chodesh has 2 heads, right? Which Chodesh do you have that? So he says, the Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah. Yeah. Ve'amar Rachmana. So the Torah says Chodshechem without the yod. Chadhu. What does that mean? That Rosh Hashanah, which is also Rosh Chodesh, is considered one to do with the tkiyot. That means even though there's 2 musafim, there's the musaf of Rosh Hashanah and the musaf of Rosh Chodesh. It's one. It's 2 separate entities. One is Rosh Hashanah, one is Rosh Chodesh. It happens to fall on the same day. Yeah, but it's only one. It's one. The old Tanya, we learned another brayta. When we're talking about on the first day of Chol HaMoed, what would the Levim say? Havu Lashem bene Elim. Right? Tilim Kaftet. Bayom Hasheni, on the second day, Mayomrim, what would the Levim sing? Bela Rasha Amar Elohim. Malech Alesmech Ukav Tisabet Aleficha. Bashelishi, on the third day, Mayomrim, on the third day of Chol HaMoed, what would they sing? Mi akum li mireim mi tatzel lim po aleavim. But if he on the fourth day, what would they say? Vayomrim binu boarim ba'mutim matay taskilu b'chamishi. On the fifth day, what would they say? Vayomrim hasirot imisevesh gamam v'shishi mayomrim. What would they say on the sixth day? Yeah, imotu kumot sedaretz. Right? V'imchal b'Shabbat be'chamem. Now, if Shabbat falls, that means basically every single day they used to have a different perek of Tehillim they used to say. So even during Chol Hamoed, and that's what we also do. Whenever there's a Chag, whenever there's something, we always have a special perek Tehillim that we say. A special means more. So here it says, Imchal Shabbat be'chamem. If Shabbat falls out on one of the days of Chol Hamoed, and it's going to be pushed off, he says, Imotu kol mosed haaretz ani amarti idacheh. So he says, what happens is b'derech klal, right, when it's going to happen on the last day of the Chol Hamoed, idacheh, you're not going to say it at all, because since we don't medaleg, right, but rather we continue in the songs, so it comes out that b'yom rishon b'Shabbat they're going to already say the one that they said it yesterday, right, and every single day of the Chol Hamoed. So that means according to that, Mimela shiro shel yom acharon is going to be pushed off according to this. Okay, that means even if Yom Tov Rishon falls out on Shabbat, it's going to be nidche shir shel Yom Tov because of the shir shel Shabbat. There's more Shabbat than Yom Tov, so you always have to do Shabbat more than Yom Tov. Okay. So the Safra comes and Manach B'u Simana. He put a siman in order to remember which Pesukim do you say Hom Mavehi. I don't know exactly how you want to read that siman, because basically Havu is Hey, Vav is Velarasha, Mem Yakum Binu Gorim Baram Hasidoti Motu. So that's like the siman to remember. Hey Vav Mem Bet Hey Yod is that's the seder of the days, right? In order to do it. Rav Papa Manach B'u Simana Hom Mavehi with a Bet Yod. Okay. The simanach and the siman to remember which siman gave Rav Safra is Ambuha de Safre. It's a very big kvutza of anashim and nashim, which are they used to go to the mavui of melavmedei tinokot, because the tinokot of mutzuim Islam. So to here we're like Safre, which is Rabbi Safra. I mean, Rabbi Safra is the teachers. Okay. That Yuvta the Rabbi Yachaber Chanina. So this is a question against Rabbi Yachaber Chanina. But according to Rabbi Yachaber Chanina, why don't they say a different shir of Shabbat of Musaf and Moed, right? So that's the question. Tiyuvta derba chava chanina. Tiyuvta, it's a good question. You're right. Because according to this, it comes out it's a very big. It's a bomba. It's a bomba question. Okay, fine. Let's go next.
Mantequilla y queso.
Again. He brought a pasuk and he brought a brayta. He learned his shita from the pasuk Yitkiu, and he also learned it from the brayta Hamusafin Tokim. That it, so how do you ask a stira against him if he's got a pasuk and he's got a brayta as a proof to him that on every single musaf you're supposed to do it separately, meaning a new set, whether it's of tkiyot and of everything. So Ravina says lomar to tell you shemarichim betkiyot, that we're going to take it longer. Right, we're not going to do a separate set. We just do it longer, and then we finish the pasuk when they're doing it. Another explanation. He's going to say that we're going to be marbeb mispara tokim. Right, that means basically we're not going to be marbim in the mispara tkiyot, but in the mispara tokim, meaning how many people are blowing, not in the numbers. How many people are blowing? All of a sudden you're going to have 10 people blowing instead of 5 or whatever, but not in numbers of 100 times instead of 20 or things like that. We're not going up in number. So says the Gemara, "Ve'anan de itlan treyome." We do 2 days of Yom Tov, and we don't say in Yom Tov Sheni u'vayom Sheni hechiavdinan. What do you do on the first day of Yom of Chol Hamoed? So Abaye says Hasheni dacheh. The Sheni is going to be pushed off completely because you can't say it. So therefore, and that's it. That means you basically skip out of Yom Sheni. You go straight to Shlishi. Because remember, for us, for Yom Tov Sheni, we have a doubt whether it's Yom Tov Rishon or Sheni. So we don't say Yom Sheni. So for what is he saying? We skip it out completely. That's the first shita. Rav Amar, no. Uvayom Shvi'i dache. The 7th day you push off. Right? Why? Because the first day of Chol Hamoed is Vayom Sheni, and then they continue going. So we have 1 day less of Chol Hamoed. So the Yom Shvi'i is going to push off. So Tanakavate, we learned in the Braita according to Rava, Im Chal Shabbat Yoter Bechamen. If Shabbat falls on one of them, Yimotu. Right? What do you say? Yimotu is going to be Yidache. So therefore, if you're going to tell me now that it's going to be Yidache Yimotu, so it comes out that it's mashma from the Braita that the sheet of Chol Hamoed is going to be pushed off, right? Is going to be said the next day. And the shira acharon is going to be nekar, which means only the last song is going to be uprooted, not the second one. So therefore, that's like Rava, that he says, of Yom HaSheni, you're going to say, right? And Yom HaShvi is going to be pushed off. That means basically you're always pushing off. It's always going to be the last one which is going to be pushed off. Okay, fine. So Atkin, a third shita. Atkin amemar benarda duluge. Right? He came and he instituted narda that we're going to skip it out. What does that mean? Every single day of Chol HaMoed, they go on the pasuk of yesterday and then that day. So it comes out that none of them is pushed off because on the first day of Chol HaMoed, which for us it's the second, meaning it's for them in Eretz Yisrael it's the second day of Chol HaMoed, but for us it's going to be the first day of Chol HaMoed. So therefore, what do? We say Yom HaShani and Yom HaShlishi. On the third day, Yom HaShlishi, Yom Revi. Fourth day, Revi, Chamishi, Shishi. So by doing that, you said every single day. So you don't, and that's how we do Halacha L'Maaseh. We say every single day. So therefore, we say both days. So therefore, there's no problem, right?
The Ashkenazim, they repeat the whole thing every day.
Time. Says the Mishnah, Nun Hei Amud Bet. Okay, 55b. Yom Tov Rishon Shel Chag Haya Sham 13 parim. On the first day of Yom Tov Rishon of Sukkot, there's going to be 13 parim. Elim Shenem Shnaim, 2 Elim, 2 rams, v'Sair Echad, and 1 Sair. Nishtayru Sham 14 Kivasim U'Shmona Mishmarot. So now what's going to happen is that they had 16 mishmarot. Okay, so he says over here 16 mishmarot they used to bring on the 16 animals that were left over. Right, so he says over here Nishtayru Sham 14 Kivasim U'Shmona Mishmarot. So now they had 14 kivasim for the rest of the 8, right, mishmarot. Okay, which means the musafim of Yom Tov Rishon, right, is going to be over here. The musafim of Yom Tov Rishon of Sukkot is going to be 13 parim, shne elim, right, 2 elim, and 14 kivasim b'shnatam rishon, 14 kivasim in the first year. Kulam leola, all of them is going to be for a korban olah. Siri zim echad is going to be for the chatat. Every single day they used to take off 1 par. Until the 7th day, there was only going to be 7 parim. However, though the elim and the kivasim and the seid were always the same. Now the mishmarot, right, is whether for male or female. Okay, mishmarot. Okay, so therefore now he's going to say like this: Bayom Rishon, on the first day, right, which we only had 8 mishmarot, l'arba'asa kivasim, shisha mikrivim shtayim. So 6 of them are going to bring 2, right, 2 by 2s. The ashar and the rest of the mishmarot echad. Because remember, all the mishmarot were serving on the chagim, right? The 24 watches was not on chag, right? That was during the year. Okay, so he says, right, like this: echad v'ashar and the rest echad. Basheni, on the second day, which you have 1 less par. So now there's going to be 9 mishmarot for 4 kivasim. So 5 are going to bring 2, and the rest 1. Bashlishi, on the third one, arba'a makrivim shtayim. Right, 4 are going to bring 2. The ashar and the rest of them is going to be 1 by 1. But Revi'i on the fourth one, shlosha makavim shnayim, the ashar and the rest, echad. V'chamishi on the 5th one, right? So then what's going to happen is, right, is you're going to have 2 people that are going to bring, meaning 2 groups, mishmarot are going to bring 2, and the rest are going to be 1 by 1. But Shishi on the 6th one, right, one of them is going to be bring 2, and the rest is going to be 1. The 7th day, everybody's the same. That means everyone's going to bring 1 kevis, right? So he says, Bashmini, on the 8th day, chazru lepais. He used to go back to the normal, how do you say pais? So the normal lotteries, right? But regalim, just like the regalim, right? Which means, just like they used to do in the regalim acharim, which they didn't have so many korbanot, that's what they used to do. So Amru, they said, whoever brought a par today will not bring the next day. But then they go back and they start again. So this is the chart which is in the Mishnayot. Okay, basically in this small chart, you're going to have like this. On every single day of the Chag, asku kol 24 mishmarot. So all the 24 mishmarot, they were working. Right, whether it's going to be with the bulls, the rams, the he-goats, and the sheep. Whoever used to bring the parim today, will not bring it tomorrow. Why? Because the other mishmarot, they didn't let them. It used to go back again. So the misparim in the tavla, the numbers in the tavla, which is number 1 until 24 always, are showing you the 24 mishmarot. The ma'agal sheni, right, in the second ma'agal, yom aleph mimiachad. So on the first day of the chag, right, yikrivu mishmarot 1 until 13. So here, this is yom aleph of the chag. So there's pars. So remember, on yom aleph of the chag, how many parim are there? 13 parim, 1 until 13 par. So this is Yom Aleph. Remember, Yom Aleph is the outer one, the most outer one, right? The most outer one is which type of animals? Parim, there's 13. Ayil, there's 2. Said is 1, and then there's going to be all the kivasim. Okay, you see all the kivasim? It says over here, the kivasim, right? You have 14, right? All through. You always have 14 kivasim. You always have how many elim? 2. How many sirim? 1. The only difference in the korbanot is the parim. You do 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, but everything else is always going to be the same. Okay, so now what happens, right? So on day Aleph, right? On day Aleph, I don't know if you could see it. On day Aleph, so you have the ones going around 1 to 13. Okay, you go to 1 to 13. Now, Ayil is going to be the 2 Ayil, is going to be the 14, 15. Then you have 16 until 24. So the first day, all 24 are doing mishmarot, are doing a korban. The first 13 are doing parim. The next day, they're not going to do parim because the next day, who starts? Number 14. And then 14 goes until 24, and then again it starts, Khalila. Then the next day, it starts again, 2, and it goes around. Okay? So now, each one is going around. Okay? Let me. So we just said now, right? Now comes the Gemara. The Gemara says, Neima Matzniti, why don't we just say that our Mishnah that holds that all the Mishmarot are going to do a pais on Shemini Atzeret is Rebbe Hivelo Rabbanan. It's going to be Rebbe and not Rabbanan. Tell him to learn to the Braita. Para Babishmini, other part that comes on Shemini Atzeret, but Chila, at the beginning, if I seen a they're going to use it as a pais, Tivir Rebbe, these doors are Rebbe. V'hachamim omerim, and the rabbis say, Achat mishte mishmarot delo shilshu beparim. No, it has to be one of the 2 mishmarot that they didn't bring Pam Shlishit B'Parei Achag, they are going to do it, which means the 2 last mishmarot, that they don't bring. Look, if you look at number 8 in mine, right? I don't know, right? Number 8. You see number 8?
Who's number 8? In the chart?
Huh? Yeah, number 8. No, in the art scroll.
In this chart?
No, in your art scroll, I told you. The note in the art scroll. You see there? Yom Rishon, 13 parim lemishmarot, 1 to 13. There's still 11 that they didn't bring a par. Yom Sheni, there were 12 parim for mishmarot 14 to 24. Right? Yom 3, Yom Chamishi, Yom Shishi, Yom Shavi. So now, Yom HaShavi'i, you have 7 parim for 16 to 22. Look at your chart now. Look at your chart, right? On the 7th day, who brings a par? Which numbers on the 7th day? Everyone has a chart in front of them.
16, 17, 18, 19,
20, 21, 22. So now what happens? You are left with 23, 24 that they didn't bring a par a third time. Correct? Meaning number 23, 24, they lost out. Because when they were going around for a third time, if you're going to take day number 1, how many parim did they bring in total? Check Mishmana number 1. How many parim did they bring in total? Take your charts. Go around. How many parim did number 1 bring? Parim. No. 3.
Total was 13. Okay, I got it.
No, you didn't get nothing. Here. The first day is number 1. He brought 1. When's the next time you have a number 1 in a par? Day 2.
Number 1, day 2 has a par.
Which one? Exactly. Day 2 also has a par.
Yes.
So that means he's got day 1, day 2, and when's the third time? And day 5. Day 5. Look at day 5.
Yes.
So that means how many parim in total? I'm going to ask Ron and Cohen, after Sukkot, how many parim did you bring? 3. Take Mishmara number 5. Which one did he do? Which one did he bring? Day 5. He brought on day 1. Because remember, day 1 he brought was until 13. Everyone brought on day 1. So day 1. Next, he brought on day 3. Next, he brought on day 5. 3. Next, take 17. Which one? When was the first time that he brought number 17? A par. Day 2. Next. Day 4. Next. Day 7. Day 7. 3. Every single mishmar is going to bring over Sukkot 3 times a par, except for 2 mishmarot. Which 2 mishmarot? 23, 24. Count, where do you have 23, 24? The first time you have 23, 24 is day?
Second.
Second day. Chazak u'baruch. Second day. Next?
Third day. 23, 24,
23,
the
24.
third day.
Fifth day. Fifth day. Fifth day. Hey, fifth day. Next? You don't have it because on the seventh day, finish on 22. So the only two mishmarot in the entire group of Kohanim that did not do 3 times the par is 23, 24. So says the Gemara, Chachamim omenim, echad mishtei mishmarot delo shilshu baparim, one of the 2 mishmarot, which is 23 and 24, that they did not bring the par 3 times, they do the one of the Shemini Atzeret. Not like Rebbe, that Rebbe said that you do a pais and all these things. No. Chachamim say 23, 24. Afilu tema Rabbanan, even if you want to say it's Rabbanan. Atu shte mishmarot lo afu sebai. He says, even if you have these 2 mishmarot that they didn't do the 3 times the parei achag, they don't have to be mifayes between them to see which one is going to do it. Because at the end of the day, there's only going to be that one par. You understand? Remember, on Shmini Atzeret, right? That's what he's saying over here. There's only one par on Shmini Atzeret. So if there's only one par, even between them, you still have to do a pais, you still have to do a lottery, but just 23 and 24. Which one is going to do it? Which one is going to do it? You understand? So he says, so because of that, they still have to do it. So says the Gemara, Kemana as the Hadetanya. So that means if we just said at the end that we have to do a pais on Shmini Atzeret, we're not talking, that means, according to everybody, you have to do a lottery. The only question is, do you do a lottery between all the 24 mishmarot? Or do you do a lottery only between the last 2, 23 and 24? Okay? Fine. Says the Gemara, who does it go like that? So we should learn to the right. All the mishmarot, they're going to do it twice and 3 times. They're going to bring a par. Except for the last 2. That they only do 2 and they don't do 3. So Neymar Rebbe, V'lo Rabbanan, has to be Rebbe, not Rabbanan. Because according to Rabbanan, one of those last 2 will bring it the 3rd time, but on Shmini Atzeret. Meaning, one more time, a Braita Mefurash says, all the Mishmarot, except for the last 2, are going to bring 3 and not 2. The last 2 Mishmarot are only bringing twice and not 3 times. So obviously it has to be like who? It has to be like Rebbe, not Rabbanan. Because according to Rabbanan, the last 2 will bring a 3rd time, the one of Shmini Atzeret. So says the Gemara, no. Even if you want to say it's the Rabbanan, Afilu Tibur Rabbanan, my lo shileshu. What does it mean they didn't do 3 times? The parei achag of the chag itself, Shmini Atzeret, is a different chag. It's a different number. Don't bring me the one of Sukkot. It's a different number. So ask the Gemara, my Kamash Shmanan, what is it coming to teach you? Kamash Shmanan comes to teach you, Mi shekriv parim hayom lo yakriv l'machar ela chozin chalil. If you remember, the one that brought today does not bring a par tomorrow. You have to start again, right? It was, if you remember, it was a beautiful cycle. It was a beautiful cycle, how chokhmah, that everything was always, everyone had a turn. Because if not, people are going to be, imagine this coin is going to say, no, but I want the par. And another one, no, I want the ayi. So you're right. Everyone is taking a turn. They go around in the circle, they continue going around in the circle, so everybody has a proper turn. Because if not, this guy's going to complain, I got the aliyah, you only give me kohen when you didn't have the other kohen, and you only give me that, and I want a petichat eichal, and the other one wanted a sefer Torah, and you understand, and Baba Haki didn't give me the sefer Torah, he only gave it to the child over there, and then people go wild. So therefore, it was a cycle. It was a cycle. Yeah? Amar Rabbi Elazar, says Rabbi Elazar, Hani shivim parim. Now, technically speaking, do very simple calculation. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Correct? There's 7 days. Yeah? Add them all up.
Again.
13 was the first day. 12,
7.
11. Amichai is cheating. He just read the Gemara. He says, 70. But I wanted you to add them up.
No, 7 times 7 already 49.
Yes.
Plus you add 1, plus 2, plus 3.
Plus 3 plus 4, you get 70. Okay, very good. So you have 70. So the Hani Shivim Parim, why do you have 70 Parim? So it says Kenega Shivim Umot, parallel to the 70 nations. Apar Yechidit, so why in Shemini Atzeret you only bring 1? So he says Kenega Duma Yechidah. Kenega the one nation. Who's that one nation? Am Yisrael.
Am Yisrael.
Mashal Melech Masav Adam Shama Levadav. It's Mashal for a king that he said to servants, Sasuli Suda Gdola, make a huge Suda. The Yom HaAcharon, on the last day he came and he said, Lo Avo, Asel Siduk Kitana. Make me only a small party now, just me and you. Tet el tet. Yeah. Just me and you.
Importance of Shmini Atzeret.
Yeah, the important Shmini Atzeret is, by the way, why do you think you have Simchat Torah and Shmini Atzeret? Because that's when we have the Simchat Torah only with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Kodesh Baruch Hu gave us the Torah. So we are Simcha, Sameach, Simchat Torah and Shmini Atzeret. This is we are by ourselves with Hashem. We are the only Ummah. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yochanan, Oy lahem le'ovdei kochavim, woe to the goyim, sheibdu, that they lost such a precious thing. Ben yodim ma yishudu. They went and they had sacrifices brought for them, and they went and they destroyed it. Meaning we went and we were protecting them, and they went and they killed it. Oh, crazy. He says, right? Why? Because when there was a better mikdash, the mishbeach was mechaper on them, on the shivim parim. But now, who's going to be mechaper on them? They destroyed everything. Says the Mishnah, there were 3 times through the year, which is the Shalosh Regalim, that all the Mishmarot, the 24 Mishmarot, were equal. In the different korbanot which were brought in the Regel. Uchiluk lechem apanim, when they used to give out the lechem apanim, right, which was the Shabbat inside of the Regel, ba'atzeret, on atzeret. That means basically in all these times, all of them were equal, meaning usually it was only that group. Meaning if Ronen is week number 10, he cannot come in week number 8 and say, I want to come and bring something. No. If he has his own korban and he wants to bring his own korban, he's allowed to, but he cannot bring somebody else's korban, or it's not his turn. You understand? He's out. I tell him out. Yeah, I shoo him out. Right? So what happens? It says over here, but on the Shalosh Regalim, everybody's equal. Whether it's in Emurei Regalim, the limbs of the korbanot of the Regalim, Chiluk Lechem Amanim, the dividing Lechem Apanim, Ba'atzeret on Shavuot, which is a mitzvah, whether it's the Lechem Apanim, Shtei Alechem, right? Omer lo, they come and they say, Helach Matzah. This is a matzah, which means when they come and they give him a portion from the Shtei Alechem, they say Helach Hametz. So remember that the Shtei Alechem, right, there was only the 2 different korbanot in the Bet HaMikdash that was Hametz, right? 10 loaves of the korban Todah, Chazak Baruch. How many loaves were in the korban Todah? In total. No, but how many? That's of Hametz. How many in total? 40. Chazak Baruch. The doctor's always on fire. 40. 4 groups of 10. 4 groups of 10, and 10 were of Chametz, plus the Korban Shtei Alechem HaShavuot. Shtei Alechem HaShavuot, right, it was done. Right, he says over here, right, it's okay, after a few years of being in my Daf Yomi, you're going to know like the doctor. He says over here, Helach Chametz. He says, Mishmar shezmano kavua, the Mishmar that it's going to be zmano kavua, hu makriv et tamim. So the one which is kavua on that Shabbat, on that week, they are going to bring the Korban Tamim. And they're going to bring the Nidarim and the Devot. Ushar Korbanot Tzibur, and all the other Korbanot Tzibur, right, umakriv et hakol. Right, and Mishmar Zeh is going to bring everything else, which means that the one which is the Mishmar of that Shabbat, he himself has precedence in certain things, but other things, everyone is equal. Okay, so says the Gemara, Emurei Regalim. What does it mean? The limbs now of the Regalim of the Shalosh. You know, when you come to the Shalosh Regalim, you have to bring korbanot, whether it's korban ulatriya or it's going to be shamei chagiga. He says, Emurei Regalim is gavua, right? It's not given to the Kohanim. So what does it mean that all the Kohanim are equal, right? What does that mean? Right? It belongs to Hashem. Rav Chasta says, Rav Chasta, ma she'amur bar-regalim. All the chelek of the korbanot, which is said by the regalim, which are fitting to be mitchalek by the Kohanim. Okay, that's what it means. Meaning, whatever is supposed to be divided by the Kohanim, it's divided equally in the Kohanim. And not that you're right. The regalim, the Emurei regalim, it goes straight to Hashem. It's nothing that the Kohanim mean. Tanu Rabbanan, we learned in a Braita. How do we know that all the mishmanot are going to be equal in the regalim? The says, right, you're going to come to the Kodesh Baruch Hu, and then you're going to be sheret. Yachol, I would have thought to say that you could also come whenever you want during the year. When all Bnei Yisrael come in one place, then all the Kohanim are together. However, if not, then there could be me'akev, another Kohen. That means you could stop another Kohen from serving, and it's not his time. You could stop him. Right now, it's not your turn. You have to wait your turn. Come back in week 22, whenever it is. Okay? And when we're dividing the lechem apanim, we learned to the Braita. How do we know that all the mishpanot are going to be equal in the lechem apanim? Tamulomar, Unvav Amud Aleph 56A1. Tamulomar chelek kechelek yochelu, that they're going to eat all of them together. Kechelek avodah, kachelek achila. It's just like by the chalukat avodah is going to be equal in all the mishpanot on the chag. So too the chelek of the achila is going to be equal on all the chag. And we continue Bezrat Hashem tomorrow.